Tech companies are laying off, not hundreds, but thousands across the United States. Coming up, hear what this means for tech graduates in the Bay Area.
I'm going to show you the condition of one of the busiest classroom buildings on campus. The last thing people call this is the Ritz. I'm Betsy Gebhardt. The story coming up on Update News.
As a team of canines return home from their duties, find out just how these four-legged heroes helped in the recent earthquake in Turkey. Those stories and more on this week's Update News.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State University, your source for what's happening with a fresh perspective on today's issues. You're watching Update News.
Welcome to Update News. I'm Angel Santiago.
And I'm Alexandra Romero. We begin here right on campus. If you're a San Jose State student, you may be shocked to learn that most of your classrooms were built before your grandparents were born. A new report says of the 23 campuses in the California State University system needs billions of dollars in repairs, renovations, and maintenance. And reporter Betsy Gebhardt has the story.
Dudley Moorhead Hall is the busiest academic building at San Jose State. It's the much-used home of psychology, economics, and other classes.
This is a 70-year-old building.
And it's a fixer-upper for sure. A new state legislative analyst report says San Jose State's buildings have the most delayed upkeep.
We have about $1 billion worth of deferred maintenance on this campus.
The university CFO assures us they're not unsafe, just need repair. Working with a meager budget, he says he looks for frugal fixes. When they installed new air conditioners, for example, we're not talking five-star hotel quality.
So it's kind of like a motel type of unit where the outside, now it makes noise, right? And this is kind of thin.
Granted, San Jose State is the oldest public university in California, founded in 1857. This campus map outlines in yellow the facilities that were built at least 50 years ago. Last week's storms only exacerbated the problem with aging buildings on campus. Follow me into Dwight Bennell Hall, which is more than a century old. Journalism students arrived at a second-floor classroom last week, noticing it was much chillier than usual and a window latch was missing.
Starting from here up, the whole thing was pushed out.
So the whole thing was like literally open, like nothing.
I was a little surprised too, because I didn't think the wind was so strong that it would force a big window like that open.
Downstairs, Update News students spotted a leaky drainage pipe right next to an open electrical outlet. But the money to make changes could be a ways off. A state bond measure to modernize facilities is set to go before voters next year. At San Jose State, Betsy Gebhardt, Update News.
Tech companies are laying off thousands of workers, and that has many students who are majoring in technology worried. Will they have jobs after graduation? Will they find? What do these layoffs mean for the future? I found out past, present, and future tech employees had to say about the market shakeup.
These are scary times for tech workers. Companies are laying off employees around the country and right here in the Bay Area. And students who are tech majors are on edge. One student who's graduating in the summer says he's nervous.
Currently, it definitely isn't going to be very pretty for a lot of fresh graduates because a lot of the entry-level positions are now closed.
A website called layoff.fyi tracks tech layoffs. According to its database, already this year, more than 126,000 tech workers got a pink slip. That is 75% of last year's total layoff.
One worker that I spoke with, he said that he was laid off from his tech company, and it happened really fast.
So our org had like a 6% reduction, like company-wide.
I had an opportunity to speak with one employee who works for Google, who witnessed his coworkers being laid off.
One of the systems I support, we had an on-call team made up of 6 people who have been supporting this. And we lost 2 of the folks who were on that on-call rotation.
WhatsUp says if you have a product that is made by the same company, if you're working there and get laid off, you're most likely going to lose all information that's in the product, like contacts, emails, and many more.
If you have a phone through Google, then that's associated with your corporate accounts. And if your corporate account gets disabled and they wipe your device.
Expert says if you fear you may be laid off, start saving. You will need an emergency fund. Update your resume, start looking for new opportunities, and reach out to your network. Let them know what's happening.
Expert says if you are laid off, apply for unemployment. Check your benefits, reach out to your network, and look out for your physical and mental health.
Inflation and cost of living is an all-time high in the Bay Area, and to make matters worse, the average person on food assistance like CalFresh or SNAP will be losing at least $100 in food benefits per month. Reporter Bentley Barley has the story.
SNAP recipients in Santa Clara and San Mateo counties were receiving as much as $283 on an EBT card just like this one. But now that amount is dropping to as little as $24 a month per household. For those two counties, that amounts to $16 million they're losing, and food banks are left to absorb the impact. All of this food you see in this second harvest of Silicon Valley Food Bank warehouse may look like a lot, but organizers say all will be distributed within the next 24 to 48 hours. That's because the need is so great, and they expect things will get worse now that the extra dollars families got in the pandemic allotment is going away.
COVID is ongoing, and the financial economic struggles of our community are no different than they were before the pandemic. If anything, they're worse. We're not going to be able to make up this difference to families in this community. That being said, anyone who's struggling should call the food bank or go to our food locator. We will find a way to serve you.
Second Harvest served 500,000 residents in the height of the pandemic. The number then dropped to 400,000, but it's back up to 460,000. The Spartan Food Pantry at San Jose State gets its food from Second Harvest, and it's seen a spike in visits too.
We have seen that in the community there have been a decrease in pandemic-related emergency supports, but we also see that students are still navigating the effects of a global pandemic. There are still gaps in needs when it comes to not only food insecurity, but housing insecurity and other basic needs.
Like many who combat food insecurity, Marcos Leon depends on the pantry for his needs and has been doing so every week for over a year.
Knowing that I would have the food pantry, knowing that I would have CalFresh to help me, that was a big relief of stress that I didn't have to worry about.
While the area's food bank says it'll always find a way to give you what you need, it also needs donations.
Exactly at the same time the government is taking these benefits away from clients, federal support of food banks is going down.
If you want to help, visit their website at shfb.org to make a donation. At San Jose State, Brianna Bartlett, Update News.
Governor Gavin Newsom is firing back at the pharmaceutical giant Walgreens. Newsom announced the state is not renewing a contract with Walgreens worth millions of dollars. The $54 million contract ends May 1st. Walgreens supplied the state medication for its prison population. The move comes just days after Walgreens said it would stop sending abortion pills in 21 conservative states, including some states where abortion pills are legal. Newsom has long been a proponent of abortion rights. He rebuked the pharmaceutical chain, saying he was done with the drugstore giant. Walgreens says it will distribute the abortion pill anywhere it is legal and that it will sell the drug according to federal and state law after it is approved by the FDA.
Not all heroes wear capes, but for some fairy ones with 4 paws, captivity eyes, and a childlike personality. We're talking research and rescue dogs. They play a crucial role after a massive earthquake hits Turkey and Syria. How they train? Reporter Alejandra Bacastero had that story.
A special team of canines arrived home last month after being deployed for 3 weeks. A 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck Turkey and parts of Syria February 6. He claimed the lives of nearly 47,000 and buried loved ones under rubble. The National Disaster Search Dog Foundation in Santa Paula, California, recruits canines from shelter and rescue groups and transforms them into some of the nation's best keepers.
So I've seen dogs that I helped recruit at the beginning go on international deployments at this point. And it's a little bit bittersweet in that we obviously train them for this moment.
Sonoma County Fire Captain Mike Stornetta is one of those handlers. He says he initially walked into the dog kennel thinking about which dog he wanted to be paired with.
The trainers all laughed and they're like, no, they're like, these dogs will pick you. And every time I walk past Rocket, he's jumping up and he's like putting his shoulder up against like the kennel, and like he's just like giving me this crazy look.
After 9/11, Captain Stornetta was motivated to get on the search and rescue team. Little did he know Rocket was going to help him save lives.
And how fast they're finding people that are buried under, training rubble. Like it's crazy. And I'm like, this is it. This is my calling. This is what I want to do.
Throughout the course of training, the canines rely on two fundamentals when searching for decoys: their nose and a game of hide and seek. The number of scent receptors in their nose allows them to identify the difference between human remains and a living being.
Although what these dogs do is serious work, they have 145 acres of Doggy Disneyland to help them prepare for deployment. This is Alejandra Vaca Sotelo, Update News.
Here's what's just ahead when we come back.
Super green powders are taking the internet by storm, but do they live up to the hype? Join us as we discover just how healthy these health supplements truly are.
Stress about school, finance, or relationships? A stress management class offers at SJSU may be the answer to all of your worries.
There is yet another atmospheric system affecting California. How much rain are you expecting in the area? Stick around to find out.
At San Jose State, we really do learn by doing. This is my first semester working on our award-winning newspaper, the Spartan Daily. But my whole time here really has been about real-world skill building. Professors like Diane Gurazi continue their work in journalism while bringing that knowledge back to us in the classroom each semester. Then we're on the Spartan Daily, Update News, or the Spear. We get to put all that into practice. We even get to work with cutting-edge tools like our new VR lab, where we get to learn new ways of real storytelling using 3D virtual reality.
Our students have many opportunities to work in newsrooms that function like the ones they will encounter in their professional careers. Here in Update News, for instance, we produce a weekly show that is aired on local access television in San Jose, and we produce video news that is digital first. Students will get experience as producers, anchors, and field reporters.
The Spartan Daily, our award-winning student newspaper, has not missed a scheduled publication date in more than 80 years and remains one of the longest-standing papers of its kind in the Western United States. Through classroom instruction and our newsroom labs, we give our students the tools to succeed and create their own bright futures. Learn by doing. If you're interested in joining our program, visit our website for more information.
An iconic art installation on the Bay Bridge is now gone. It has been up for a decade and was very popular. Now a non-profit organization is trying to raise money to bring it back and make sure it's better than before.
When installations are created, there is no guarantee how long they will last. There are variables you can't predict, like electrical or environmental factors. But some art installations become a staple, like the Bay Lights is to San Francisco. So when it's turned off, it leaves a gaping hole for some.
On the Bay Bridge, it's like super iconic to see the lights, and especially at night. And I come here for New Year's almost every year and see the lights and the fireworks, and so the lights being off is definitely sad.
The Bay Lights was first designed by Leo Villarreal and installed on the Bay Bridge on March 5, 2013. They were turned off on its 10th anniversary. The installation was up for so long, even people who live outside the Bay Area missed it.
I just have a lot of memories looking at it. I'm not from here, but I really like San Francisco, and I know the Golden Gate Bridge is the highlight, but I feel like the Bay Bridge is just special to me.
But hold on, the lights may not stay turned off. Illuminate is a non-profit organization that is trying to help keep the lights on the Bay Bridge.
In order to keep them running, Illuminate is trying to gather $11 million, and so far they're more than halfway.
Actually, pretty reasonable for an art project of this scale. And so we have 6.5 million committed so far. So we're excited. The last million is a crowdfunding.
The group is hoping to bring them back better than before. Illuminate is planning to install 30-year lights on both sides of the bridge so you can see them in the southern part of the city.
Keep an eye out for more updates on the Bay Lights 360 project. An exhibit at the LMK Library is honoring a San Jose State alumnus who was a pioneer in creating housing for Black students.
Charles Chuck Alexander arrived at the university in 1955 as a walk-on football player. It was the Jim Crow era, and San Jose State did not offer housing for Black students on or off campus. Alexander found a 10-bedroom home that would later be known as the Good Brothers House. It housed activists like Huey P. Newton, gold medalist Ray Norton, and Bobby Pointer, and many other San Jose State athletes. The exhibit also features some of the artwork his wife Sophronia painted. You can see the exhibit about the Alexanders on the MLK Library's 5th floor through this month's end.
Green powders is making rounds in the internet. The powders are a new concept, but recently they've been gaining popularity. Wonder what they are and if they boost your health? Reporter Brianna Mathaw went searching for answers.
These health green products come in different forms. You could find them in powders, gummies, or even tablets. Some promise they will increase your energy, help with your digestion, and support your immune system.
I'm a personal trainer, and I think that if you're not eating enough vegetables every day, take greens, and that's a better option for you.
You may find many people struggling to eat the recommended amount of fruits and vegetables daily. In hopes to increase the intake, people have turned to these green products. Powdered greens dissolve in liquids, and you could take it by scooping it in a glass of water or a smoothie. You could find these green supplements at a number of retail stores. They vary in price, from $28 all the way up to $100.
Also was pleasantly surprised about the price point of the product. Oftentimes, supplements like this can be pretty pricey.
According to the health information site WebMD, the powders lack fiber because they are made from dry fruits and vegetables. The site warns the powders are not a substitute for a well-balanced diet and can't replace the benefits you get from eating whole foods, but they can supplement your healthy diet.
What I find a little interesting is that the product never defines or classifies itself as a supplement or a meal replacer. It never does that, which I find is interesting. And I worry that the consumers of this product maybe don't have a good understanding of exactly what this product is.
The FDA advises asking your doctor before taking any dietary supplements. In San Jose, I'm Brianna Mathaw, Update News.
These are stressful times. People are worried about not having enough time or money. They're feeling overwhelmed with all the tasks facing them. How do you manage all that stress? It just so happens there's a class for that. Reporter Aja Tuba-Vignon has the story.
If you're a student, you may find yourself stressed out as the semester rolls on. You may be worried about your finances or your health and well-being. San Jose State offers a class where you can learn techniques to overcome those stressors. It's called Kin 69, Stress Management. Professor Lacey Atkinson teaches the class and says students will learn a lot about how they may be contributing to their own stress. The goal is to give you a sense of control.
So it allows you to create a lot more autonomy in the way that you kind of move through life to decrease stress.
So this class has helped me to manage my time a lot better this semester, and as a result, I've been able to improve my sleep schedule.
One stress-reducing technique students learn in class is to meditate. It allows for stress relief because it gives one a sense of control over their focus rather than allowing uncontrollable surrounding factors to direct it.
And I've loved how it integrates a lot of different aspects of different majors and stuff in order for us to literally manage stress.
With stress management, students learn things like how to budget their money. With this, they are able to learn how much to spend as well to save. This is a stress reliever for them because it allows them to be in control and let them know they have a plan. I'm Asia Tubenio, and this is Update News.
There was no sign of stress in San Francisco's Union Square as hundreds celebrated Women's Day at a display of thousands of tulips. The on and off rain didn't stop thousands of event goers. They began lighting up well before 10 in the morning. Following an opening ceremony at noon, the sun finally came out and the umbrellas went away, and the Tulip Garden was officially open. Attendees were given a paper bag and an International Women's Day sticker at the entrance. They were free to choose the 10 tulips. The event ended early after the organizer ran out of tulips. The event is expected to make a triumphant return to the Bay Area the next year.
It looks like rain is headed our way, and lots of it. Joshua Gilman has your forecast.
This is Joshua Gilman with your 7-day forecast outlook. All right, what to expect in the next 5 days? There is yet another atmospheric river system that's actually hitting California right now and continuing tomorrow, Friday the 10th. A flood advisory has been issued, especially for the Santa Cruz Mountains. They could receive up to 10 inches of rain, so there probably will be mudslides. And there is more rain on the way next week, mainly starting on Tuesday and going into the end of the week. This is the moisture transport that's going to be affecting the California, especially on today, and then on Tuesday, the next system will be coming through. Moisture is being tapped in from the subtropics, stemming all the way from Hawaii, as they used to formerly call atmospheric river systems Pineapple Express. This is the extended outlook for total precipitation amounts. The rain mainly will be ending on Saturday and lingering over the weekend, and then the next system on Tuesday will bring more rain. San Jose and most of the Bay could be seeing about 4 to 5 inches of rain, and Scotts Valley and Santa Cruz, 9 to 10 inches of rain all the way through Tuesday. So be on the lookout and be careful if you live in those areas. All right, going to the 7-day forecast starting in Santa Cruz. We do have most of the rain happening on Friday and Saturday, with some scattered showers going into Sunday and Monday. The highs are going to be pretty consistent in the mid-50s, with lows in the mid to upper 40s. And San Francisco will be seeing pretty similar conditions, except they won't be having as many scattered showers. They'll be having mainly consistent showery and drizzly conditions all the way through Monday. And highs are going to be in the lower 60s and upper 50s, with lows, in the mid to upper 40s. Rain will then pick up again on Tuesday with some scattered showers. And in Oakland, they will be seeing similar conditions to San Francisco, with the bulk of the rain happening today and tomorrow, and then continuing all through Tuesday. And highs are going to be, once again in the upper 50s, and lows in the upper 40s. And finally, here in San Jose, we are going to be getting a little more rain than what was originally forecasted, actually, due to some downstream sloping, which basically means that the Santa Cruz mountain range actually could not maybe block that much rain, so we could be seeing that 4 or 5 inches all the way through Tuesday. Highs are consistent across the board at about 60 degrees, and lows are in the mid to upper 40s. It is worth noting that nighttime temperatures are no longer in the 30s. It's no longer going to be as nippy anymore. So finally, we've made it to the 40s. Alrighty, this is Joshua Gilman, Update News. Back to the desk.
Here's what's next for you when we come back.
To celebrate International Women's Day, hear from San Jose State female sporting stars Sophia Jones and Lacey Ham as they share their season success so far.
March is Women's History Month, and our Carson Wilson is here to bring up the speed on two San Jose State female athletes that are doing big things. Carson?
Let's get started with a women's basketball player who is doing great things off the court. Here is her story.
Sophia Jones had a not-so-ordinary experience as a San Jose State athlete. Her first season was in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Her second season, she did see some playtime, but this season she was unable to play because of an injury. So, this season, she took a different perspective on the game she grew up loving. She pursued her lifelong dream of broadcasting it.
Probably since elementary school, honestly, that is what I wanted to do.
Mark Jones, Sophia's dad, is a basketball broadcaster for ESPN, and she grew up watching him in action.
I just found his job like the coolest thing in the world.
At the last home game for the San Jose State women's basketball team, the father-daughter duo got to broadcast the game together for NBC Bay Area.
It was super fun. It was one of an experience I'll for sure remember for like the rest of my life. But at the same time, it almost felt like really casual and comfortable because that is what me and him have done like our entire lives in terms of like just talking basketball.
Following the broadcast on air for ESPN, Mark Jones spoke on sharing the experience with his daughter.
I'm a very grateful girl dad.
Sophia Jones had some great accomplishments off the court. Another female athlete had some really awesome accomplishments on the softball field.
The San Jose State softball team took on Northern Colorado on a doubleheader tournament day. For pitcher Lacey Ham, it was a career day. After pitching the whole game, she led the team to victory over the Bears, 7-0, the first shutout game of her college career.
I try to just go inning by inning, not really thinking about like the amount of hits they have or how many runs they have. It's just get 3 outs, get back in the dugout, and get some more runs. So I just play by play, you know. If it's a shutout, it's a shutout. And I mean, it was really awesome doing that for my first time in my career.
Ham joined the Spartans in 2021, and Coach Tammy Lohman says she has continued to grow ever since.
I'm just so proud of her. Like, you know, Lacey has grown so much. We always knew that she was a competitor and a perfectionist. I mean, she's a pitcher, right? So she's a little bit perfectionist by trait, but just to continue to see her growth of her game and just her ability to be able to handle.
Looking for some fun stuff to do this weekend? I've got a few ideas. Here's my calendar.
Here's what's coming up this week. The Women in Leadership League Conference will be taking place Friday, March 10th from 8:15 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. in the Student Union Ballroom. Listen to a panel of speakers and participate in group discussions. Breakfast is provided. Celebrate Holi on March 11th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Discovery Meadow Park in San Jose. The event is put on by the Association of Indo-Americans and Bali 92.3 FM. Experience music, dance numbers, Desi food, and more. Tickets are $7. Scan the QR code to get yours now. On March 14th, there will be a jazz orchestra concert in the Music Building Concert Hall from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Tickets are $5 for students. Scan the QR code to purchase yours. That's all for this week. I'm Carson Wells.
And that does it for this edition of Update News.
Make sure to add us on our social media pages at SJSU Update News.
That's all for us for here. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.